Hello one and all, and today we have a reaction video. I just learned, well, I learned this for a day, but Disney is super upset that Mufasa is losing to Sonic in the US. Now, Mufasa is technically the #1 movie in the world, as you've seen all the commercials, but that's only because Disney has opened Mufasa internationally, while Sonic did not open internationally. In the US, on opening day weekend, Sonic made almost double of Mufasa. And I guess Disney has, what I've read, that doesn't make it true, Disney has been bullying theaters to, up Mufasa and hurt Sonic. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's a lot of videos doing this, so we're gonna pick one of these videos to react to. Let's see, this is the soonest, one day ago. Disney bullies theaters to ruin Sonic 3's momentum, or why. Let's do this one, because that's what I was just talking about.
Which has been... It's a...
So, let's see. We're gonna like, just because we're using the video. Unvoke. Disney bullies theaters to overthrow Sonic at the box office during Christmas and push more money for Mufasa. In fact, Mufasa has already rebounded from its loss from the past few days. Interesting. Okay, so this is done by Unvoke, and let's get to it. It looks like only 6 minutes, so not that long of a video. And I have not watched it, but it looks like maybe I clicked on it earlier, but again, did not watch it, so.
A frustrating day for Sonic fans today, as Disney flexes how greedy they are in the movie industry yet again, pulling some moves that many are calling...
By the way, Disney's super greedy lately. $400 for a Lightning Pass at Disneyland. Like, Disney's only out for the money right now, and you know why? Because most of the movies since the pandemic has flopped. They have lost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on their box office movies since the pandemic. The only real hit, if I remember correctly, is Inside Out 2 and Moana 2. Other than that, I think they lost money on every other movie. It turns out even Little Mermaid, which they made a little bit more than they spent on it, it turned out to be a lie. They sent money from other projects in order to make Little Mermaid look prosperous, and it was not. So, and Snow White's gonna be a dumpster fire. We all know that. So let's see what Disney has done now. They've definitely become a trash company, and they probably always were, but I was in love with Disney until recently, so...
Downright unfair. Let's break it down. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which has been a huge success at the box office so far, is getting the short end of the stick when it comes to theater screens and premium formats like IMAX. Why? Because Disney's Mufasa, the Lionking, is hogging more screens, even though Sonic has been out-earning it at the box office. Let's break down the midweek updates that paint an...
By the way, this is what Disney used to do a lot of the time, even before the pandemic, is they would bully theaters into playing movies on those screens. Like when Star Wars came out, like every single screen played Star Wars. Disney is a harsh company when it comes to movie theaters. They actually don't like the third-party movie theater system, and they actually petitioned in court a couple years ago in order to build their own movie theaters. They won, by the way, with some other companies with them. But no one wants to go to the Disney theater and only see Disney movies. It's just, and I think they got smart to it because they haven't built that theater yet. So we'll see. Maybe they will in a little bit. Don't know. But they don't like the third-party movie theater system. They think they should be making every single dollar on the movies and, getting concession stand snacks and stuff like that. They also hate competition. Look at what they did with Fox and Swan Princess and the movies that were trying to take out Disney back in those days. So... Alright, back to what we were saying. I'm kind of jabbling.
Even clearer picture. On Tuesday, Sonic led the day with $7.5 million compared to Mufasa's $7.1 million,
That's not
which marked
big.
the first signs of Disney starting to claw back some ground.
Yep.
Fast forward to Friday, and Disney's prequel was eyeing a 5-day total of $58 million compared to Sonic's $50 million. That said, Sonic's overall running total was still higher, sitting at $99.55 million compared to Mufasa's $76.4 million at that point. Again, this is all domestically. I don't care if Disney pulls out the international gross on my face. Despite the numbers favoring Sonic overall, the lion's share of screens and premium formats gave...
He's playing Sonic Frontiers in the background, which is a great game, by the way. I love me some Sonic Frontier. It's the first open war game that actually worked for Sonic, in my opinion. But yeah, it's not about the topic, but I just wanted to say I'm enjoying watching the background here.
Gave Mufasa the momentum to edge ahead on key days, bolstering Disney's grip on the box office. If you want me to cover more of this big corporate backlash that main media don't show...
You know, it's funny. So not every movie theater is the same. I'm sure he's right. I wish he would, say what theaters he's talking about. Because I know that there's some theaters that I live by that was not showing Mufasa and the premium stuff. They had Sonic in the biggest houses possible. And Mufasa was not in those houses. In fact, Mufasa was in some of the smaller houses. But it's probably not big corporate theaters like AMC is a big contributor with Disney because Disney throws a lot of money at them. And I know that AMC and Disney has had dealings in the past. So I'm guessing he's talking more of a AMC situation. Regal is the biggest movie theater chain in the world, and he could be talking about Regal. He could be talking about Cinemark, the one with the cat. That's the second biggest movie chain in the world, and then AMC is third. Those are all public movie theater things, and some of the other movie theater chains that are not those three are private, and I think the private ones would be playing Sonic more. And public ones that Disney has stock in would probably be playing Sonic less and Mufasa more. So, again, not every movie theater is the same. Some of the more local movie theaters that I live by definitely was playing Sonic a lot more than Mufasa.
So, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comment below. It helps keep this channel alive, and I really appreciate your support.
I used to make fun of people that that used to say like and subscribe and all that stuff. And now that I'm a YouTuber/VTuber, guess what? I feel for everyone that asks for my subscription, so I'll probably subscribe. We'll see.
Now let's talk about this past Christmas. Mufasa had a rebound on Christmas Day, pulling in almost $15 million compared to Sonic's $10.3 million. Now that sounds like a win for Disney, right? But it's important to note that Mufasa had a way more screens and premium formats working in its favor.
Which means
Sonic's fans showed up in droves, but they were limited by the lack of available showtimes and venues.
I probably shouldn't be talking while he's talking in the video, but the way movie theaters work is the movie actually has to pay for a certain amount of screens. So, and it's a cost that most people don't show. Sometimes they get special deals with movie theaters, and it's not something that they actually show in the cost of the movie. But the more screens you show on, the more money that you're actually forking out for it. So Mufasa being on more screens, they're actually forking out more money to do that. Not for the premium screens. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about just the overall screens. There's going to be a bigger money toll for that, and it's different for every movie theater. They bargain, they deal, they talk about price before the movie comes out. So it's really fascinating, but again, it's not going to be a blanket cost for every single screen or anything. They'll come up with a deal before the movie comes out and it's funny, they come out with a deal with it like the Monday or Tuesday before it comes out. For most places, sometimes even a week out. So they'll film dealers talk to the studio, and that's how it gets done. All right.
Had way more screens and premium formats working in its favor. Sonic's fans showed up in droves, but they were limited by the lack of available showtimes and venues. Even Nosferatu, a niche horror flick, managed to earn $11.5 million on Christmas Day, outperforming Sonic simply because it had more room to grow.
Okay, so there's actually a specific reason why this particular movie right here, Nosferatu, I'll never say it right. Actually, I think I just did. But there is a specific reason why it beat out Sonic on Christmas Day, and the reason why is a lot of people were tricked. And when I say tricked, not intentionally tricked by the studio or something. They read, because of how it was worded when it was coming out, that they thought it was only out on Christmas Day. There was tons of pre-sales for it, like on Christmas Day. And a bunch of people thought it was only going to play Christmas Day. So that's the reason why it shot up during that one day, is because people thought it was a one-day thing, a one-day event. And that's why Nosferatu did so well on Christmas Day. That's the only reason. Just saying. Also, I talked to someone recently that saw the movie. I have not seen the movie myself, but they hated it. And they said everyone in the crowd asked, like, what did we just watch during their showing? That was tonight, actually. And I was just bumped into him, and he said he watched the movie. And, yeah, it was pretty funny. So...
This is a classic example of Disney strong-arming theaters into giving them priority, leaving less room for other films to shine, even when those...
This is not a new thing. Disney has done this before, and like I said, it's not every movie theater. It's just probably the big three, if AMC most likely, but probably just the big three that I talked about earlier. But again, this is nothing new.
Those films are actually bringing in more money. If you haven't known, Sonic 3 opened strong, pulling in $60 million in its first weekend.
I think it was actually $62 million domestically, while Mufasa did about 30-something million. So, yeah, it was almost double.
Theaters saw packed audiences, and fans were ready for more. But instead of allowing Sonic to expand its reach, theaters are tied up with contractual obligations to Disney. Sonic 3 is currently playing in 3,769 locations. Sounds decent, right? But when you compare it to Mufasa, which is in 4,100 theaters, the disparity becomes clear. And here's the kicker. Sonic is only adding 8 screens nationwide for its second week. 8! Meanwhile, Mufasa gets to stay in its thousands of locations, even though it's not performing as well on a per-theater basis.
It's not. Again, those contracts that they sign up for when they send out the movie, Disney has the most sway out of any company, I do believe. Even with their bombs in the box office lately, it's Disney has had 60, 70 years of movie success, if not more, right? And like, movie theaters live and die on Disney, and or if you don't make Disney happy, right, you don't play Disney movies. That's just how it goes. So you gotta make a rule in the movie theater business, I would assume, is you gotta make Disney happy, right? So I think that's one of the reasons. But again, I did not see this in local theaters, but I don't go to AMC, I don't go to Regal, I don't go to Cinemark. He's probably right that it's happening there.
Let's not even get started on the IMAX and premium screens. These are huge moneymakers for any film because tickets are more expensive for those formats. But who gets them? You guessed it, Mufasa. Sonic is left in the dust.
Sonic would have actually looked pretty incredible on IMAX. I did not see it in IMAX. I wish I kind of did. I wish I spent the money. But anyone who knows about me and Sonic 3 is I didn't care for the movie as much as everybody else because I really liked Sonic Adventure Battle 2. And there was a bunch of Sonic lore that, was different in the movie. And I don't blame the movie for it. It was made for kids and everything, but it's one of the best stories in Sonic and one of the darker stories in Sonic, and I wish it was a little bit darker just because of how great of story that Sonic Adventure Battle 2 had, which is what this movie's based on. So that's just my opinion on it. I still think it's a great movie, but I think it could have been better.
When it comes to premium experiences, despite its undeniable box office appeal, IMAX theaters are booked solid with Mufasa, even though fans are clamoring to see Sonic in all its big screen glory. But why does this keep happening? Well, it's all about Disney's dominance. Disney has a long history of monopolizing theaters during peak holiday seasons. They've mastered the art of locking in deals with theaters to guarantee screen counts, no matter how their movies perform compared to competitors.
Correct.
This isn't a new thing. Disney has been doing this for decades. Remember Toy Story?
I just said that. They have been doing it forever. Okay.
Story 2 back in 1999? That movie dominated Thanksgiving weekend, setting a standard for Disney's holiday strategy. More recently...
It actually did, and I didn't like Toy Story 2 when it came out, but I actually have a new fondness for it because of Jessie and stuff, but I absolutely hated Toy Story 2 when it actually came out. Moana, I have not seen that one yet. I've been sleeping on some of the Disney movies because I've been so mad at Disney lately. But I do plan to see Moana.
Moana 2 smashed records, debuting in over 4,200 theaters and raking in $221 million over Thanksgiving weekend. The problem is that Disney's tactics limit the diversity of options for moviegoers and stifle competition for other studios. Paramount and Sega, despite having a massive hit on their hands with Sonic 3, can't get the theater space they deserve. And it's
So one of the things I do have to point out with this, right, is Disney has been doing their craft for 70, 90 years. However you want to trail their success in movies, you can say it's happened since the beginning. I think that it really hit the stride with Snow White, so that's when I pinpoint the 1936 Snow White. That's when I pinpoint the success as far as movies. They've had some successful movies before, but not a lot of. And I have a really, I hate Disney right now, so don't make this sugarcoating. But I was the biggest Disney nerd that you ever see. I had a Disney house. I had everything. So I know the history of Disney. I know almost everything there is to it. The thing about Disney stock right now is, even though they're going through a really bad time and they deserve every moment of it, Disney in itself has had a long history of success with the movie theaters, and movie theaters are too scared to walk away from Disney. They right now, because of Disney's long success as a company and in the movies, they don't want to bet away from Disney. So if Disney threatens them and says, you're going to play our movie, or we're not going to let you have our movies in the future, then they're going to bend. And I don't think you can be mad about movie theaters doing that. What I have to say about Paramount and Sony, for example, is they need to have a longer track record of successful movies. Sonic is a huge success. They should be very proud of it, but they need to have a longer track record that mirrors Disney or can put up with Disney in order to have equals sitting at the table. Whether that's right and wrong, you guys can decide in the comments if I get any. But at the same time, whether it's right or wrong, that's the way it works right now. Alright.
It's not just Sonic fans who lose out here. It's all of us. Fewer choices in theaters mean less variety and innovation in the industry overall. And let's not ignore the overall trend. While Mufasa might be clawing its way back with strong weekday numbers, Sonic is still the bigger story internationally. Global audiences are loving...
So that's incorrect. Sonic didn't open internationally. Now, it does have some international theaters out there. I'm sure Tokyo's playing it, and some other countries for sure. But Mufasa opened hugely internationally, and Sonic did not. That's why Mufasa is the #1 movie in the world, but not the #1 movie in the US. Sonic would probably be the #1 movie if it opened internationally like Mufasa did, but it did not.
Loving the blue hedgehog. And this weekend's worldwide numbers will likely be very telling. There hasn't been any information about the Day 5 gross for Sonic, though. What really stings, though, is how predictable this all is. Disney's monopolistic tactics make it hard for other studios to compete fairly. Theaters have to play along because...
Okay, so fairly, Disney has, and I hate saying it, Disney has earned their spot by making hit after hit after hit. Whether you have Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, the original Lionking, Hercules, Jungle Book. I say Jungle Book because that was like during a downtime in Disney and the art style is not that good, but it was still a hit. Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Tangled, Frozen, just hit after hit, right? So Disney has earned the spot where they can do this, and other studios, when you talk about fair, I don't know if we want to be fair. How should I put this? Everyone should have a chance, but you have to like make your chance. And even with 3 great Sonic movies, I don't think that that's enough to push Disney back, or should push Disney back, in my opinion. Now, if the trend continues and we get to like Sonic 7 and Paramount comes up with a bunch of other movies and it's just hit after hit after hits, you can mark my words, Disney will get pushed back if they're a thing of the past. And that's how the free capitalist system works. But again, we'll see what actually happens.
Disney movies are a safe bet for high turnout, but that safety comes at a cost, namely stifling competition and limiting audience choice. Some theater chains like AMC and Regal are reportedly starting to rethink their heavy reliance on Disney, but
like I said, AMC has been a darling of Disney for a long time. They did have a falling out for a little while, but they are begrudgingly together, and I think AMC may break away from Disney for a long time. They're actually the theater known for Disney days, remember? Back every Tuesday was a Disney day. There was even an AMC in downtown Disney for a long time. Alright.
But it's hard to say if real change is on the horizon. Honestly, I'm a bit frustrated. Sonic 3 is proving to be a massive hit despite the odds, and its box office numbers speak for themselves. But it's hard not to wonder what the movie could achieve if it had a fair shot at premium screens and wider theater access. Will theaters start pushing back against Disney's stranglehold on the market? Or will we just see more of the same during every holiday season? Only time will tell, but for now, it's clear that Sonic fans, and movie lovers in general, deserve better. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Disney's dominance is bad for the industry? Should theaters give Sonic more screens? And hey, if you're a Nosferatu fan, let me know if it's worth checking out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one.
I need to get myself a subscribe thing as well. I did like that earlier. Let's subscribe just because he asked nicely. And because I am now in need of subscriptions, I need subscribe numbers. Alright, so that's my reaction videos. I found it funny because I have a lot of knowledge about Disney and stuff, and I'll probably talk about Disney on my channel a little bit. They are encroaching on the anime space, and Disney is actually a huge threat to anime, which I'll talk in another video. But they're buying like licensing for the dub in different countries, and if Disney gets their hand on anime, you can expect a Star Wars like thing where they just destroy it. And I'll talk about that in a different video because it's a unique way how they would actually destroy it. So again, this is by Unvoke. I'll put his video in the description and everything, and I'll check you guys next time. Bye.